more than you could ever imagine. I'm going to show you some quotes out of the Bible and the book of Thomas here in just a little bit that are going to blow your mind. Okay, so let's keep going here. Okay, so I talked to you about it before. I'm going to move kind of fast in certain areas and slow down in others. That the Bible states that God made man in the image of himself. We also know that our children are in the image of us. And we also know that Moses' tabernacle and the two temples were made via the instructions from God in the image of man, which is also obviously then still in the image of God. So if God made man and his temples in his image, what image would he have made our world in? Okay. This is something I've talked about before, but it's kind of new in this presentation. I didn't cover it yesterday. I mentioned it, but I didn't show it. And that is here, okay, of the temple, like Solomon's temple, okay, here on the left. This was how it was, the image that it was built in, okay. You have the two pillars, Jachin and Boaz, okay. You have the porch, which is the, um, well, you know what it is. I don't have to come up with a word for it. Then we have the holy place, or holy place or places right here, which is the body itself. From your neck down is the holy place. Then when you go up the stairs, which are the neck vertebrae, you go into the Holy of Holies, which is your head. Okay. And apparently the way that Solomon had it built was that the arms were where the priests had their cells at, okay, where their offices, you might say, okay. So the arms perform the work, the duty, okay, for the temple, or in our case, for us. Our arms do a lot of that work. And so that's why this was designed like this. And you can read in the Bible where it goes over the exact design of this, and this is accurate. Okay. Uh, and inside of the Holies of Holies, you had the Ark of the Covenant. Okay. This is an exact, in the image of, replica of the human body. Okay. And this is why the Bible tells you that ye are the temple, because ye are the temple. And in this series of videos, can you see what I see? You're going to know for sure you're the temple by the time we're done. And you're also going to know that you were built and made in the image of God, man and woman. And you're going to know that the heavens and the world that we live in is also in that same image, just not an exact copy. It's in the image of, it's a likeness, a similarity, uh, if you get it. Kind of like the flower that I just showed you a while ago, and the female clitoris, how that, obviously they're not exactly the same, but they're in the image of, okay? All right, so let's keep going. I talked to you about the image of the fruit from the Garden of Eden, and that the image of the fruit, the reason why it is the fruit is because it is in resemblance of the female reproductive system. It is the gateway in which all life comes in. And I said, where is creation in the apple? Where is the Genesis? It is in the eye of the apple, the eye of the apple, which of course we can see looks like the female reproductive system again. Look just like, once again, the female reproductive system as well. as also we know the term eye of the apple or apple of my eye, and that the eye itself is another image of this same thing. If you took this apple and you cut it across ways, which actually I think I have that image in here, you can see the eyes, the vesica piscis that surround that as well. And so I kind of went over that, and I'm not going to go, I'm going to keep going, okay? So I also said to you, why did Adam and Eve veil themselves after picking the forbidden fruit? Okay, they veiled, it is said that they veiled what we would call their genitalia or their private areas, right? They put fig leaves over them. And I said, what did they realize? Because their eyes were open, they realized that they were in the image of God. And they became ashamed because they had been tricked by the serpent, right? And there's a lot more to it, and we're going to keep going here. So here I compared the eye, the human eye, to the eye of a storm, whether it be a hurricane or a supercell. And this imagery repeats all the way down to the way your cells in your body functions. All these things, they whirl, okay? And the word that's being created for it is like torus, okay? It tours, it goes on a tour, or like a tourist, a torus, Torus, okay? And you can even look at your body. Your body itself is called the torso, your main part of your body, the torso. You can turn.
Blockchain, crypto, it's happening everywhere, and it's happening.
And right, your body overall can also tour. You can go walk around in circles. You can go walk wherever you want. You can tour. And then you have the torso where it bends backwards and forwards. And then you have your head, your neck that's on your shoulders that can turn in any direction pretty much. You know, you can turn and look left, look right. It tours as well. It goes backwards and forth. And then you have the eyes. The eyes themselves also tour, and they can roll in a circle. Okay, and this is all important to understanding how we are in the image of the world and of the heavens and in God. God made everything in his image. Everything that was not, what's the word I'm looking for? Altered, I guess you could say. Okay. And I also pointed out how the eye of the storm of a hurricane will expand and contract, just like the eye, the pupil of the eye, how it expands and contracts. And what causes the eye of the storm to expand and contract is based on the light, how much light and sun that it's getting, the energy it's generating, which is basically the same thing that causes your eye pupil to expand and contract as well. And I made notice of the fact that the apple leaf is in the image of the vesica piscis, which the vesica piscis is in the image of the female reproductive system. So there's a reason for all of this. It's all connected. So here, a few more images. The eye of the storm, the eye of the pupil, and the fruit. And what I didn't mention yesterday was the serpent. I didn't mention the serpent and how the serpent plays into this. Okay. Actually, I need to make one of these a little bit smaller to actually make this fit properly. There we go. Because ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to be turning this into like a documentary kind of thing where I'm going to do it presentation in a professional manner with all the work and the research I've done in the area of this, the realm of this area of creation and how things actually work for our entire world and how everything is in the image of God. So I got to get it straight. So I'm doing work on it while I'm doing a show on it. See how that works? I get to double down on accomplishing something. So I said, and this is worth repeating, what are the attributes?
You're he, mic check. You're he, mic check. Cool, we got sound. Just checking to see if we got sound. We got sound. How you doing, folks? Much love to you people out there, man. I see Jeebus in the building. Salute, Jeebus. It's been a while, bro. I hope you're well. You and the family. Chills, what's going on, Chills? I see you down there, bro. Much love. Day one S, obviously. Day one S. Well, go on, day one. So yeah, you know what it is. Just another pop up. Um, Nothing fancy. Just a quick little get together. Uh, I think this video is about 2 hours long, but I don't know whether we'll make it through to 2 hours. Who knows? We may do, we may not. But you know, we here, we here. If anybody wants the link, let me know.
Attributes of the eye. Well, for one, let me blow this up for a second so you can see it better. The eye tours. The eye tours. It rolls around. Okay. And
So you say times has changed, Jeebus. Times have changed. Indeed, times have changed. I feel you on that, bro.
if you say, Daniel, you're just being silly, you're in the wrong class. 101 is down the hall all the way to the end on the left. You go outside and get on the short bus, and you take it down about 3 miles down the road to that little school down there. But if you want to be in the advanced class, stay here. Now, the eye also has hair or foliage around it that is there for protecting, but it's also there for symbolic reasons as well, because all portals, like the pupil of the eye, it is a portal and it even is in the image of a portal.
Mm.
And it is a portal. Something comes in or something goes out. And in this case, with the eye, it receives light and it also actually projects light. That light is can't be seen with the human eye, but it has been proven that.
One thing I've noticed, right, when it comes to the iris, it has a particular type of, I don't know if it's detail or scarring, right, that goes around it like this. No matter the color, right, you get the same thing. Even on this one down here, it's got the same thing. I wonder why it's shaped like this. See that? That goes around it like that. This fine little detail. It's in this blue iris and this red one.
That it exists, that the eye actually puts off a light that is outside of its own ability to see it. Also, notice that it is surrounded by something that looks white. It's like it's surrounded by like ice. You might symbolically look at it like. And the eye is also filled with water, so it sits upon water. And the iris sits flat, in which we'll see that here in a minute. But you can see in the image down here on the bottom, you can see that the iris and the pupil are sitting flat back in there. And there is a firmament that is above it. Okay. And the pupil, you'll notice, is in the midst of the garden, or the pupil is in the midst of the iris. The iris is another word for garden or types of flowers. Okay. And the
But I mean, the pupil isn't really something physical. It's just the opening, really, the blackness, isn't it? Yeah, pretty sure.
you have water or rivers of tears that flow into it, into the eye. And of course, yes, it works for moisturizing. There's always functional reasons for everything, but there's also always symbolic reasons for everything. The overall eye shape is called a vesica piscis, the shape of a womb. And that womb, or that eye in this case, has two wings, a lower wing and an upper wing, just like the reproductive system, the vagina of a woman. Okay.
Hmm. He's not wrong there. I see where he's going with that. All right, I see exactly where he's going with this. All right. And then the yoni in the middle right there, right? The hole.
When too much work bogs you down.
Is in general. Well, they, you know who they is in general, at least, they know this. They know these things. But what they see, this is knowledge. What I'm teaching you and showing you is knowledge from the tree of good and evil. Now, what do they choose to use this knowledge for? They choose to use the knowledge for power and to control and run the world, right? That's what they want to do. They're cursed and damned to be here eternally. So they intend to try to run the world as it repeats its cycles, because we're headed there. And I'm going to show you some things that are going to blow your mind. They, as these cycles repeat, they want to stay in power over it. And their God, the God of this world, helps them. You can see here, this is the Vatican on top with the Vesica Pisces with the phallic symbol sticking up in the middle, the same as in Washington, D.C. Two circles with the phallic in the middle is basically showing you exactly what you think it is. It's about, I call it a point of creation. It's about creating the image of a point of creation. And in this case, what they used it for evil for was for the creation of a dream world, the American dream. And in the case of the Vatican, it's the same thing. It's just another dream world. The whole world itself is a stage. It's a show. It's not what it really is. Okay. Now the Vatican itself is also a serpent. I don't have the imagery in here, but it is a serpent running down and into the river. The serpent symbolism is all over the Vatican, inside of it, outside of it, the entire roof of the building, everything. The murals, all the stuff, they are into worshiping the serpent. And they're not going to tell you that. They'll tell you they're into worshiping the mother goddess, you know. They're into worshiping Mary, but which Mary are they worshiping? And unfortunately, I don't believe Mother Mary can help you. Now, I'm not trying to insult anybody that happens to be raised Catholic. I was raised Baptist. Am I a Baptist? No. Am I a Catholic? No. I am none of those labels. I am simply a child of God, and I choose to believe that there was a time when Christ walked upon this earth and that he was sacrificed in order to absolve the sins of this world from us, if we choose to admit our sins and turn and repent and follow his way. So here we are now back to knowing, looking at all how they use this imagery and everything, back to these images, pointing out to you how they come to understand some of these things. It's because it's written all over nature. Not only is it written all over nature, it's written right on your face. Okay? You're starting to see what I see. And so we have this that almost looks like a butterfly, and we have this butterfly. And the butterfly itself is in the image of a lot of things, but one for sure is the reproductive system and the what's called the labia, which are the wings of like it even says here from the dictionary of Merriam-Webster, says, and the inner labia, which are reminiscent of butterfly wings. Okay.
What's happening, Three Fingers? Lord Racer, somewhere in time. Much love. Welcome. Hope you lot are well, man. Much love. Big up.
Now you have, like I said before, you have your two eyes. Okay. But you also have something else that's in your head, and which I showed you a little, or mentioned it before, showed a little bit. I'm going to show it again, but I'm going to do it quickly because I got a lot to get to. Okay. You have what's called in between your eyes, which are the two.
Rule by Saturn in the building. E Green in the building. Salutes to you guys, man. Much love. Big up.
Two windows to the world and the two windows to your soul. They can and are liars because our eyes and our ears have been, ever since we were a child, been deceiving us. It is only now that we are finally trying to wake up, right? Finally. However, some will choose not to wake up. And there will be some that we will not be able to convince to wake up. Let me make that a little bigger real quick for you so you can see that eye pretty well.
Blow that up.
Just absolutely glorious.
Glorious.
Thank you, Father, for giving me the energy to be able to do these shows like this now every day and be able to have time to prepare. Okay, so we've got, here's the human head. In between your two eyes, or your two liars or deceivers, you have what's called the crista galli. And the reason, one of the reasons, anyways, why that's important is you can see right here.
My dog's stomach was a mess for months. Different dog was the first food that.
Poor doggo. Oh, get your dog checked out. Come on.
Oops. Let's back up. You can see written at the bottom of the screen, swabs inserted up through sinuses into the veil that is before the Holy of Holies. Okay, the veil. You have a veil that is at the back end, the top back of your sinuses, where there is something called the ethix or the ethoid bone that has the crista galli. This is what they were trying to rub these swabs on. Okay, because they wanted to rub it on the veil that is the swab that has something called the ethic of your sinuses, where there is something called the ethics or that is in front of your Holy of Holies. Now here I've shown it, and I'll show it real quick again. This is the ethmoid or the ethics. It's where the brain sits right on top of this, and it is the part of the brain that gives you your connection with Christ, with God. Okay, it is the fire within, and you'll notice that it looks like a cross with veils on it. It also looks like a boat. It has the oars, paddles, or whatever you call those things that go in the water for a boat. You have the ports on the top, just like with the Noah's Ark.
Rudders, I think it is.
On
Rudders.
top of the boat. And you have the Krista galley in the front, and also the bow of the boat, the front of the bow of the boat as well. And if you look up images, and I probably will end up adding it in here, but if you look up images of the like Noah's Ark images or old boats, they all look like this, and many of the modern ones do as well. So the Krista galley is right there on the top. Galley is the place where something hangs out, and in this case, it is the Christ or the Christ. The Christ within hangs out there. All right, let's keep moving. I'm trying to catch y'all guys up for those who didn't show up to class the other day, and also it's just as a review. These are flowers, and this flower is called the Krista galley. And you see the resemblance as to why it might be named the Krista galley flower. Okay, because it's in the image of. Now you can also see that this is symbolically similar to the flower as well. You can see that this flower over here, which is also called a Krista something, it's in that image again, just like the butterfly, just like the monarch. And this is the tree from this as well. And you can see that that tree, you know what, let's copy that, and let's give that its own page. I'll show you why. Okay, now look at this tree and realize what you're looking at. You're looking at the brain stem coming up out of the ground, okay? And you're looking at the limbs, which represent all of the nerves and nerve endings that are all throughout the entire brain. And then, so in other words, you're looking at the human brain. That is what it's in the image of. Can anyone here dispute that? And what it has hanging on it are these flowers. Let me copy that and take that over here and put it with this. Make that a little bit bigger. Maybe even a little more. There. But now, can you see what I see? Can you see what I see? All right. So we were talking about and mentioned the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant. Because you have an ark, and you have, it happens to be called the ethics bone or the ethmoid bone. Okay, and there's a reason why it's called that, but they're not going to admit it. They'll just give you some scientific lingo and all that. But as you can see, this thing looks like the sails on a boat or a veil, and this is the veil that they're rubbing up against. Like I told you, they come up through the sinuses from below and rub up on that. You do not want that happening. Okay. It also looks like the sails on a boat and the main mast, like I've said before. All right, so let's take a look.
Longcom, new Renogy CRX triple.
And realize that you have this imagery in your head. You have this, let's see. I've told you about this, and I've told you, matter of fact, let me just pull it. I'll go ahead and pull it real quick. so you can see it, and it's part of this presentation. Here we go. We're looking for the sphenoid bone. Here's your butterfly. Okay.
Oh, before he gets into that, I wanted to say thank you to Jay Dreamers, just in case if he watches this back on the replay or he's watching now, whenever, if he does catch it. Thank you for joining the other day. That was awesome. I forgot to say that guy Dubs, he was putting us through the gymnastics, right? We got off track, but I really wanted to get back to track. Sorry, get back on track, but yeah, we got knocked off. I know the reason why he came up on the panel to begin with, because we were talking about the sun and things of this nature, right? And then we was going to get into more deeper things, but yeah, it kind of went left, right? It kind of went left. So yeah, Dubs, if you're listening, next time when you join, right? We heard somewhat of you what you got to say. Next time you have to listen to what myself or Jay's got to present, right? Dubs, if you're listening,
There's
cool.
the butterfly that exists in your head as well. This is a bone. They call it the sphenoid bone. Okay. And the arc sits
Wow, from this angle, it looks like a moth or a butterfly of something, correct? From this angle right here.
right with it. It's right up against it. Okay. So here are your wings that we're talking about here when it comes to the throne of God. And I'm telling you that this is the throne. Your head is the throne. You are the temple. Do you see what I see? Now, I explained before, we're talking about eyes and a number of things, and we're going to go pretty wild far here, and I'm going to have to get moving on to really get those things. But I wanted to point out the structure of the eye one more time, and that is that it's filled with water, and the world sits upon it, and there's a firmament above it. You can see the circle inside the eye, which is the lens, and then above that, they call it the cornea. Okay, but it is the firmament that is above the pupil and the iris. Isn't that amazing? All right, and I did pick up
Where you gone? Hello. What's going on? Mic check. Testing. The fuck? Mic check, check. Why is it frozen?
our
Oh, it's him. I thought it was me.
I had this saved from some previous work research on all of this for years now, and it was a little bit better clip, so I thought I'd show it. Oops, can't click away like that.
Chevron 1 is holding. Chevron 1 is locked.
Hold on, go back. Look what they're showing you. They're showing you the white, the cross and the nucleus.
Chevron 1 is holding.
Wow,
Chevron
okay.
1 is locked.
Listen, this move, this how would you call it? Program Stargate, right? this is literally showing you so much symbols of Hollow Earth and the Eye. Like this program, Stargate. Right? We haven't even begun to decode this one. Right? It's crazy.
Sorry. Just trying to blow it up for you.
Showing you right there. Let me take a picture of that. 1 second. Cool.
So you can see the whirlpool that's
Yeah.
created. Now, of course, this is computer graphics and these kind of things, but do they actually have technology that can do these kinds of things? It's very possible. They hide and don't show it to us, but it's very possible. And this comes from a series called Stargate, of course. And then this is another little clip where they're saying open the iris or close the iris. And you can see that footage a little bit because it tells you something or shows you something, even though they don't tell you.
I heard it. I heard it. Close the iris. Close the iris. Boy, what? Come on. They are showing you something. But what? I don't know.
Remember, under the right code, we'll open the iris, and if you lose transmitter, you cannot get home.
Without sending the signal to open the iris, they'll die.
Looks like
So they're just calling it the iris. They're calling it the iris. Right? That must be the portal itself to get in the black hole, right? Let's keep going.
SG1, sir. Open the iris.
Open the iris.
No need, sir.
Close
Getting
the iris.
SG1 remote signal. Disengage the Stargate. Open the iris. Let's hope they found SG1. Open the iris.
Okay, so you get the point.
Oh, man said you get the point. Of course I get the fucking point. I understand the assignment. Come on, man. It's me. I'm trying to show these people what's going on out here. This is cold. Close the iris. Open the iris. What the fuck? That's crazy. In plain sight. Yeah, it's different. Different.
Dancing and playing all around truth, but won't tell you the truth. They won't tell you really what's going on and how everything is in the image of God itself. Genesis 1:2, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Now you noticed there's always a lot of sparks when the portal gateway opens or when something crosses, very similar to how when a man and a woman come together and a sperm meets the egg, it produces a spark. And apparently I'm going to have to pull that up and get it put in here. Because it is a real thing and it needs to be in here.
Oh, nice. I guess we're gonna get to see the spark. Eh? I guess we're gonna get to see the spark. Random fucking fan in the building. What's going on, Shawnee boy? What's popping? How you doing, my man? My Cherie in the building. Much love, much love.
So let me pull that up real quick. I will go ahead and show it since we're here real quick. Some of you have seen some of this before, some of you haven't. And I understand that some of you have seen it and some of you haven't. See the spark? Look very
Spark
much like a eclipse, didn't it?
eclipse, yeah.
Very much like an eclipse. All right, let's see here. I've covered that. I'm not going to recover that. I will explain this a little bit. I'm going to explain it a little bit more. I've got some little bit better imagery that I'm going to show you. What this is this is a world inside a world. And, and it's part of the theory because of all that I can see and what I'm showing y'all guys about how things work. Remember that your eye has the ability, remember God created you in his image. The eye has the ability to whirl or tour, okay? It can roll around. Nothing is by coincidence. You can look at things simple or you can look at things for what they really are. And so the eye can roll around, and it is my theory that the entire world is very similar. Okay. Now I've got the image updated on the left. Okay. And that is this is, and I still realize how wild the theory and concept is. So understand it's not lost upon me. But
Facts. I understand that it's out there. It's out there. It's not for everybody. I'm aware of this. I know it's different. And I'm okay with being different. Right? In case you didn't know, I'm okay with being different.
what I'm trying to do is get this image overlaid. So circle within a circle, because this circle revolves. It revolves around this bigger circle. And these are the, like, each movement, like, it are one of the 7 or possibly 12. I think it's probably 7, but maybe 12 ages. Okay. I know they want to talk about we're in the 5th age and this kind of thing. I mean, personally, I don't know who could tell me what for sure age we're in. Okay. But what I'm saying is everything in this world goes in cycles. It tours, it spins, and even our skies do it. Everything does it. But does our reality, because the Bible says that we live, well, it says that there will come a time when there's a, and I'm not quoting it exactly, but when there's a reset, okay, like when Noah, when the whole known world flooded, okay, and there's certainly evidence out there that there have been times where
Medical weight loss is not cheating. It's
places you can find that have been founded, meaning they're very old and they found them literally. And they repurposed them, fixed them up, kind of like the pyramids of Giza. If you go look at the oldest photos you can find of the pyramids and of the, what's it called, the Sphinx, they are way older than we can possibly imagine, because our world that exists inside of the bigger circle, which it tours around is much older than we think and much bigger than we think. It's just like how the eye can roll around in the head, and the head itself can roll around, and your body itself can tour, and your whole body itself can tour, just like your torso. And you go on tour, being a tourist, and using the language and the words that we've got. Okay. On the lower right hand side here, you're looking at the way a hurricane kind of works. Okay. A hurricane has two lows that it has to have in order to be a hurricane. Okay. A supercell thunderstorm is, I believe, simply one spinning torus, but a hurricane is two. It has a lower level low that sits down upon the waters.
My Cherry says most interesting topic as of late for me. There you go. It has to be. It has to be. There's so many connections, so many receipts, right? Without even trying, it just falls into place. You can see so many correlations. It's just there. Don't have to do much, right? Don't have to do much.
And it spins up. And then there will form an upper level low that it will form off to the northeast, and it will have to come in and slide in and mount. So as the lower low gains some strength, it'll pull in the upper level low, which is where normally most of the moisture and the rain and everything is at. I call it the wet low, which is on the upper northeast side of the lower level low. Okay. So it has to come over and mount on top of it like this. These are simple ways that will help you and help me come to understand how this works. And of course, we know that a hurricane is a torus. It spins like a top. Okay. And I propose that our entire world does that, at least the area of which we exist in, because 1/4 of this world is described as that it will be destroyed by fire. According to the Bible, one day it will be destroyed 1/4. Well, this circle is actually exactly 1/4 of the size of this larger circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you some more things here in just a minute.
That's just like the Prague clock, right? 1/4. What are they showing us with the Prague clock is 1/4, right?
That are going to be very illuminating, you might say. Now, here is a little sacred geometry for you, okay? And a little bit different way of looking at something, okay? So if you can imagine this image overlaid on top of this image, okay? Which I'm going to try to get done, but I couldn't make it work yet. If you notice in this area right here, let me blow this up a little bit. In this area right here, you can take some maps, like I think it's Mercator, or there's another one. The name is slipping my mind at the moment. But you can come here and look at the lunar surface, because the lunar surface is not what they tell us it is. None of the craters show that there are any so-called meteors that are hitting it from any angle other than straight on. All the craters, just like all the craters on Earth in our world, they're also perfectly round. There were no rocks that came from an angle. That therefore tells me that it is not what they told us. And over time, I started to wonder, what is it really? And it finally hit me as to what is it really? Now, I'm not saying so says God, okay? But what I'm saying is consider this, that we could exist in 1/4 of this image here, and it's actually about right in here. Okay.
No, it's what I think he's got. Well, he's trying to say 1/4 of this could fit on this. This is 1/4 already, my friend. Right? They're showing you this is 1/4, in my opinion. Right? That would be on there, so that would be the 1/4. It's not like where would we be in here? This is the 1/4. We're looking at the 1/4, and if you look at the realm, it looks like it's been through, you know, the recycling stage already. It shows, right? It looks like it's been hit by fire, plasma, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this is the 1/4 already. This could be the aftermath, what we're looking at, right?
Let's see here if I could turn. Oops.
Pick up the 40 gig data.
So many adverts.
Turn that image a little bit. If I take this and turn it something like that, maybe a little bit more, something like that. And you can imagine, just like this sacred geometry imagery here that you see in a lot of places, okay, the same kind of imagery, you'll find it all over. Okay, you can imagine this overlaid over this, and there's many images. As a matter of fact, I've got some that Daniel sent me, and didn't have time to get them in here, but I want to get the original ones that were they're better quality and put it in here with this, so that it's all overlaid and makes sense, right? But if you notice these circles, you've got 7 circles here, and they overlay each other over the one in the center. This is, we're going to come back to this here in just a second. Okay. Notice this one again. Do you think they created this just out of, well, let's just design it with 6 circles around the garden in the middle. This is considered to be an image of the Garden of Eden. So if that's the case, where is the Garden of Eden? Is it in the center of this? Is it in the center of this? Is this a negative image? The sun is the positive. It's the bright positive. It's the masculine energy. The moon is the feminine energy. But is it a reflection upon the dome, upon the firmament? Is it a reflection? And if it is a reflection, is it a reflection of where we live? Is the question. So
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, dome and firmament, that's the part where they lose me. I don't know whether this guy's a flat earther or whatever he is. Right? Well, by the sounds of it, he's promoting the eye, so I guess he's not a quote unquote flat earther, right? By default. But it's when they try to tie in the firmament and the dome. We've already tied in what the firmament is, right? The sphere, the lens, the moon. Their words, not mine. Right? So, I mean, there could be more than one firmament. Who knows? But my conclusion is the moon. I mean, I don't know.
look at these 7 circles. These 7 circles. Let's consider them a little bit more. Okay. 7 circles, 7 days of creation, right? And I believe this is located inside of Notre Dame, okay, which is.
Paula, how you doing? I don't know. Paula said, so is this under the dome? Well, I base my research on the eye, right? And if we're looking at the eye, there isn't a dome anywhere, as far as I'm aware. There's no dome within the eye. It's just spheres, right? It's spheres. It's spherical. There's no dome there. Everything's hollowness. It's on the inside. I, I'm yet to see a dome within the eye. I can only see oval and spheres. There's no dome. So unless I'm looking at it wrong, I don't know.
Notre Dame, of course, is a building that is a basilica that is built in the image of a woman. That's literally what Notre Dame means. It means Our Lady. Okay. And if you consider that in considering the fact of what I'm showing you when it comes to the feminine side, being the moon, it can start making some sense.
See, now that makes sense. Our Lady, the moon, right? Everything's a reference to the moon, the feminine. You don't really see much reference to the earth. It's just Our Lady, Notre Dame, right? Or Notre Dame. It's the moon. That's the link.
So Revelation 17:7, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. Revelation 17:9. And here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. So here's the question. Do these, and I know there's been many theories, okay? This is my theory currently at the moment. See these 7 circles? Is that the 7 mountains? Now I know you can go to, somebody's going to argue you got to go to Rome, or you got to go to.
Nah, don't worry. I know exactly what it is, right? You see, when he mentioned the beast that carried her, right? Don't worry. I'm gonna. It takes time, right? I can't just throw you into the deep end, right? Trust me, it takes time. But yeah, I know exactly what they're talking about here. Let's keep going.
Paris, and you got to go to New York City, even, or you got to go to, but on a, and they maybe are symbolically a reflected image of these things, okay? Because sometimes there's more than one answer to a question. But the question is, at this point, is are these symbolically, could they be considered the 7 mountains or the 7 areas of our world? Okay. All right. Revelation 17:10. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. 17:11. And the beast that was and is not, even
Hold
he
on.
is the 8th.
Excuse me 1 second. I got someone in the building. Well, go on, Demon Slayer. Hey, salute to you. Salute to you. Hold on a second. While you're there, let's we're gonna make a quick detour, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Quick detour. Hee-hees and ha-has. Real quick. Give me a second. Oh man.
I am a little bitch. I'm a bitch on a level that I can't explain, but I'll try. Just do it! I am Demon Slayer's little bitch.
Yeah, boy.
I'm a pathetic loser that plays with hand puppets.
Stay home. Save lives.
You're just a clown. I'm a pathetic loser that plays with hand puppets.
I'm a bitch! Ah! Bow to the penguin lord!
This is what you get.
What was that for?
Hey, little puppet. Are you my real girlfriend? I am a pathetic loser that plays with hand puppets. I don't care, man. Oh my God.
Please forgive me. So stupid.
Everyone is stealing my ideas.
How come nobody has taken my sock puppet ideas? How come nobody has taken my sock puppet ideas? Because that's the only original one you had.
Everyone is stealing my ideas.
Need more drama. Please notice me. Please notice me.
Shit.
I am not crazy. Crazy.
You serious?
Hey, you know what's wild, Demon Slayer? I swear to God, right? I was watching those you know, those beta boys like OTW and Landry and those folks, right? Go to war with AI on each other, right? These clowns was AI in each other to death, right? They were AI in each other to death. That's fucking wild, goofy shit, right? And none of them was hitting it, right? This right here, yeah, out the park, out the stadium, right? Out the dome, cold.
My Ravens are watching you, Team Eagle.
And I said to myself, if Demon Slayer gets hold of something like that, what they're using, it's over. And look, you hit the streets running, bro. You just, yeah, it's a madness right now. It's a madness. Jesus Christ, look at that.
Everyone is stealing my ideas.
Living in your head rent free, bitch.
Look at this thing. Take a look at this. Does this look normal whatsoever to you, or does it look like a complete fucking lizard demon? I mean, look at this thing. How would you like this thing looking at you? My goodness.
Yeah. Cold. That's how we do things, man. Yeah, man. Holy. Yeah, it's funny as fuck. Good stuff. We needed that. Where am I? Second. Where are we? Where the fuck was we? Ah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, hey, you knocked that one out of the park. That was cold. Cold. Get that kid up out of here.
Longcom, our retinol revolution. New Energy CRX Triple Serum Retinol. For our first time,
and is of the seventh and go into perdition. And I added a note here, 7 kings over 7 lands, over 7 times, or 7 ages. Again, I'm willing to reconsider and will always continue to reconsider even my own words, okay? But is it possible? Maybe. So I wrote down here also the 8th mountain, okay? Like where the woman sitteth, the 8th mountain, mountain, land / time is also the 1st / 7th before / during Christ's return is of the 7th and 8th time mountain / 1,000 years. And I know that's
The mountain. Remember last time we was looking into the mountain and the hill, right? The peak, the mountain, the hill, the rock, right? The rock, the mountain, the hill, right?
it's a little confusing the way it's written there. Let me see if I can explain exactly what I mean. We're told that we will have 1,000 years with Christ. Like I've got written down here at the bottom. See it at the very bottom. We are promised 1,000 years of peace, love, and God on earth after the final great reset. Is the 7th day and this is the 7th day and the day of 1,000 years of rest. What I'm asking.
Croatian brother, Wagwan, salutes my family. Much love to you, man. Welcome. I hope you're good. Hope you're good. I hope things went well the other day, right? I hope things went well the other day, if you know what I mean, right?
Asking that, okay? Like, is that what this is talking about? Is it possible that I'm right? And if we are truly in the end times, that means that we will move soon into a new land, a new earth will become available after a great earthquake, which a great earthquake and eclipses, these things are related to birth, okay, the birth of something, symbolically and literally as well. All right, Exodus 31:15. So a question I ask is, does God let a portion of our world lay dormant or lay lie for a day, which is say 1,000 or 1,080 years? Okay. And that land would likely be frozen. Okay. And I'm saying, and you'll see why I'm saying this in a second, but move this down a little bit. It'll make sense in just a couple of more slides. 1080 is divided by 6 gives us 180. What's interesting is that the screen resolutions for the computers and electronics that we use, they all match periods of time, which is very strange and very interesting. Let's see here if I'm at the right one. Yeah. So you've got 180, 360, 720, and 1080. Are these uniquely periods of time? And they've.
You have found your way to the heart of something huge.
Leave smooth orders and speedy
Right,
payments
yeah.
up to us. SumUp Terminal.
Made it into even the screens, that the screen resolutions like revolutions, like it's very close to revolution, meaning to turn, to spin, you know. There's something there. There is definitely something there. So, okay, let's go back and read Exodus 31:15. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the Lord. Whosoever doeth any work on this in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Okay. Exodus 31:17. So apparently Father really likes the rule of letting things rest. Is it just us? Or does he allow other things to rest? Does he command us in the Bible to let areas of land lay where you're not harvesting or planting and doing all this? It's just whatever grows up during that time, you can eat it, but you're supposed to let the land lay rest, right? Okay. Exodus 31:17, and it is a sign between me and my children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. And of course, we have that image again. 7 overlapping circles can be seen. Is this part of that cycle somehow, symbolically and physically? God rested on the seventh day, tells us to rest on the seventh day, tells us to let the land rest on the seventh day. And I asked the question, did he also build that into the world's design? It's very interesting to me, at least. Here's Daniel 4. This is Daniel talking about King Nebuchadnezzar, right? And is at the end of 12 months, because we're going to start looking at the number 12 here in a minute, but we're still dealing with 7. But number 12 is coming up because it's important. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house and of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee eat grass as ox, and 7 times shall pass over thee until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomever he will. Now, is this just talking about Nebuchadnezzar is a question I might have. Or is there a message for all of us in that there will be 7 times that all mankind will have to go through in order to reach the 1,000 years? Now, are we...
You know what's strange about this, right? Because I remember also the Nebuchadnezzar tied in with the Matrix movie, right? Now, remember the Matrix, like we said, there's parts that's of the Matrix is within the eye, right? All in the nucleus, right? But not only that, the ship that they was driving, I forgot the lady's name, right? I think it's Will Smith's wife. I forgot, Jada Pinkett, right? She was flying the Nebuchadnezzar, and you know, any ship that they present, they're showing you the lens, right? This the mothership. They're showing you the ship, right? She was navigating that through the hollowness, right? Through the caves, through the underground, right? They're showing you hollow earth in plain sight, right? showing you the lens. Right now, even when you break down the words, Neza itself, right? Remember, we're dealing with the eye, right? Neza relates to sight and vision, right? We're dealing with the eye. We're dealing with optics here. The matrix is based around the eye. It's all to do with sight, optics, right? Sight, vision. That's Neza, right? Compounded word, you break them down and it exposes what they're really trying to show you.
Are we in that seventh time? If I remember correctly, if you look at, I could be wrong on this. If you look at the, let's pull it up and see. Maybe we need to look. What is the, what Jewish year are we in? The New Year. Jewish New Year. Jewish New Year. What's the number? Looking for the number.
Most people eligible for medical weight loss don't know it. Are you?
Who would be a good candidate for these weight loss medications? People that
Did I see it right there? Nope. All right, where's it at? I don't want the actual New Year's date. I want the, what is the current Jewish year? Maybe it's this one. No, that's on 23. So that would be at 80, 86. Let's see. Okay. 50. Okay, it's 5786. Okay. All right. Well, that might not be a tie-in to it. Exactly. It might be somehow. I just might not be seeing it. All right. So let's see where we're at. So, anyways, I was asking the question: Is this 7 times shall pass over thee? Is this only? It just means, what does it mean? 7 times, 7 days, 7 years, 7 ages, and is he just talking to Nebuchadnezzar, or is this a bigger message for humanity? This is. Let's see, that's verse 32. Okay, this is verse 24, I think, on the next chapter. It says, "This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my lord the king, that they shall drive." Well, I just read that, didn't I? I did. And why am I reading it again? See here. Sorry about this, guys.
Yo, Wagwan, Angel Wings in the building. Salutes, much love. Twin, CC, big up, always. You already know, much love. Mr. Infinite in the building. Salutes, salutes. We also got down there. Hope I missed anybody. Much love to everyone, man. Peace. I hope you're enjoying the show so far.
Okay, so we'll just go with reading. Okay, so why 7 times? What is a time? Do we know yet? Astrologers maintain that an astrological age is a product of Earth's slow precessional rotation and lasts for 2160 years. Okay, so on average, one great year equals 25,920. 25,920 year period of precession. 12 zodiac signs, 2160 years. So again, the number 12 zodiac signs. And if I recall correctly, or if my memory works, wasn't it 12 disciples and 12 tribes also? But this 2160 thing brings us back to this chart again. 2160. 2160 is considered to be 4K, ultra high definition. And then you've got HD, which is half of that, which is 1080, and then 720. And above that, you've got in 2160, it goes to what's called 5K at 2700 and 8K at 4320, which is the double of the 4K, of course. They don't do things for just no reason. Let's just add this many pixels. No, they're doing it for a reason. I'm not sure why they are doing this when it comes to resolution or revolution, or somehow this is tied to time, I guess is what I'm seeing, but I'm not sure.
Tied to time. Interesting. I'd love to see how he'll make that correlation. Yeah, like I said, it's all I see is the eye, right? Everything to do with sight and vision. That's all it is. Every little story, now I'm starting to think every story has a meaning to do with the eye. You know, back in the old days when you hear little stories or meanings or poems, right? You fish in between the lines as something to do with the sight or the vision.
So here's Daniel 9:2, 9:24, and 9:25, where he's talking about 70 years and 70 weeks. Okay. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood. My voice is starting to go. I've been doing this every day for what is it? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days straight, and I'm starting to lose my voice. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of the years whereof the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet, and he would accomplish 70th years in the desolations of Jerusalem. 70 years. What am I saying? I think I'm getting tired, to be honest with you. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring in everlasting righteousness. So what is the message here? Okay, we're still talking about the Nebuchadnezzar thing, and this is the same prophet, Daniel, and here he is saying that 70, which has 7 in it, is saying, is determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish the transgressions and to make an end of sins. Is it a coincidence that 7 again is tied into what I was showing you earlier? You know, these 7 circles, the whirling of the world.
You got hold on, wait there. Because even here, I can see he's got sins and to seal up the vision, right, and prophecy. But even with sin, right, that's also tied into the moon, right? Sin is tied into the moon. That is the moon goddess, right? Sin, or the moon god. Sin also, right? Now, I'm thinking along the lines like when they say we're born into sin, right? Does that mean we're born into the moon? Is that what they're really trying to say? Could sin really be the moon, born into sin, right? And then you got vision again and prophecy.
I was showing you earlier, you know, these 7 circles, the whirling of the world. Okay. Is it 7 times? Is there a tie there? Okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
It says, Daniel 9:25, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the prince shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. And I realize that there are many ways to interpret some of these things. However, I would say that there can be more than one way that actually manifests reality, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay.
And you know what's wild, right? Because even when they talk about rebuilding Jerusalem, right? Now, how would that sound, right? Your house has been destroyed and you say, oh, I'm going to rebuild the kitchen, right? I'm just going to rebuild the kitchen. I'm going to leave the toilet. I'm going to leave the bathroom how it is. I'm going to leave the front room. I don't need that. I'm going to leave the hallway. I'm just going to rebuild the kitchen and live in the kitchen, right? After all, that is Jerusalem, right? Is Jerusalem the kitchen? No. One whole place was Jerusalem. Right? It had to be one place. He's rebuilding the whole construct. They're not just going to build one place. Not just one place is holy. One holy place. Get out of there. They're talking about an entire place. Not just one location. It's an entire place.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, man and woman together were made in the image of God. Both he made them. So if he made us in the image of God and he instructed his tabernacle and his temples to be made in his image, what image did God make our world in? Okay. And when you're looking at this, and I know it's hard to keep everything I've shown you above in your mind, but even the number 7 is encoded within all of this, which I think I explained in one of these slides here coming up. Okay, yeah. So you have the gate. Let's make this a little bit bigger. See the numbers lined up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They would call it the 7 chakras in the Middle East and some religions and stuff. But you have 7. Interesting that that's the way they set it up and how it relates to the human body, how it relates to the teachings that I've just been reading and exploring the ideas of and how it relates to time, because the answers do lie within us. The answers to all things lies within us. They can be found if we seek them.
Facts. I've been saying that you look in, you find out, right? That's it.
It can be found, and I'm definitely tired. My voice is I'm having to get up a lot earlier. Been cutting my sleep to try to be able to do enough research in order to be able to fulfill my promise. That is to do this 31 days straight. And I'm on day 4 or 5, counting I had already done a live show. You said, well, how hard is that?
This is how switching to fresh food completely.
Really the hard part. The hard part is the amount of studying and reading and double checking and referencing different verses of the Bible and different books.
That's it. I mean, work, I got that sewn up. Family, man, yeah, all day long. This part, sometimes the research becomes stressful. Like, oh man, what are you talking about here? What does this mean? Where they going? What the hell? What? That's the part. But at the same time, I love it. Right? I love it. I love grading the homework.
Doing all that you don't ever see. Only time you get to see it normally is when I open up Beyond the Veil for like a pre-show, like I was on in Beyond the Veil today for an hour before I started the actual show. That's a place on the website you can come, and if you're like, I wonder if Daniel's going live today, or if they're doing a show today, you can pop into Beyond the Veil, and if we're there getting ready, you'll hear us talking and see what we're talking about. And it's free, and anybody can go there. You don't even have to be a member of the website. And just go to the supernatural.show and click on Beyond the Veil. Beyond the Veil pre-show. There is an area called, that's another part of Beyond the Veil that is for members only, but the pre-show is open for anybody who wants to go. Okay, let's try to see how much further I can get before I fall out. All right. This
shit.
knowledge that I'm kind of talking about
Come
overall
on.
of how our world is created in this 7 or 12 segments, probably 7.
Look, showing you Mecca. He's showing you the construct. Look at the concentric rings, right? Look at the concentric rings. Look at the dot in the center. Right, we've been showing you this.
But you can see it even in other religions and how they build things, how they construct things, because there is some of this knowledge they know. It's just a matter of how they choose to use it. Are they going to use it for good or for evil?
Mm-hmm.
But most, if not all, of this knowledge has been hidden from us, and only because, for what reasons I don't understand, Father blessed me and made me have to do this for.
That's it. I love this guy. I have to get him on my show, right? I have to get him on my show. He's talking my language, right? It's all there. It's all there. You go and look. It's there. You don't have to look very hard. It's all there. Go and look. Go and find out for yourself. That's what I did. That's exactly what I did. I got so inspired by Wim. Salutes the Godfather, right? For a good year or so, I was running with Wim's work, acting like it's mine. Like, hey, look, crater, look, we live on a crater, moon. I was doing all of that stuff, right? Acting like it's mine. Then I thought, hold on, I need to do my own research. And I started doing my own research, and it was like, oh. And look where we are now, right? From the moon to the eye. From the moon to the eye, right? Had no idea. We had no idea. Salutes to Casey as well. Casey played a big part in this. Right? So it's wild. Hidden information, but it's no longer hidden because you are aware now. Oh, I'd like to think you are aware. Right? It's not hidden.
The remainder of my life to understand it and then teach it. You'll notice this is Mecca, and it says First Ring Road. And they're continuously building here, okay? But there's some things that catch my eye, like First Ring Road. That's a big ring that goes around Mecca.
Mm.
And then they come in concentric circles. You can see that they're still doing tons of construction because they're building something in the image of something.
Mm. They're building something in the image of something. Come on, man. That's crazy. Wild. Whoa.
If you notice right down here, there's something on the ground that looks kind of interesting. It looks like a cathode, kind of like the Catholic religion. The reason why they say the cath, okay, the cathode or the Catholic, it has to do with something they don't talk about for sure. If you look, you can see that it is like little wheels, like a wheel inside of a wheel kind of thing. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or do they have 8? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these have 8. But there's these little, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, like little cathode symbolism. Okay. And for whatever reason, there's 7, and I happen to notice it. And notice how they're building these big giant rings, and how it seems to be like they're trying to build an image of something. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's try to keep going. Here, this is just another image showing you that same thing with all the people gathered. Now, at Mecca, of course, what do they do there? Back here, they whirl is what they do. So is it surprising that they have everything else built in a concentric circle? See how they got everybody sitting and standing in this giant circle? And they're even building the town itself in that image, in a giant circle. Think that's all just a coincidence? I don't think so. If I pull up Mecca World, see what I get. I'll get what I figured I'd get. It looks like a bunch of ants, don't it? This image is pretty good, I guess you'd say. Let's see if we can take it and maybe bring it in here. Let's insert a slide. Let's just throw that in there, and maybe one more if there's one that shows it a little bit differently. And of course, we know that there's the cube, black cube at the center.
Yeah.
This
Black
is an
rock.
interesting comparison. It's about magnetism, energy, and the flow of the spin of the storm. So I would think that would be appropriate, probably.
Look at that.
Yep. All right. Let's make that slightly bigger. There we go. Now we added something else to the ultimate presentation that I'll be doing one day soon enough. Okay, so moving on into looking at the number and related number 12. Okay, like 12 hours on a clock. And anybody recognize this astronomical clock? It's in Prague, and there's about somewhere between
There it is again. 1/4, right? 1/4. Could they be showing you the lens in the eye itself? 1/4. Right, and the lens to the globe would be 1/4. Cold.
6 or 10 of them in other places around the world. Literally the world. Joshua 4:9, and Joshua set up 12 stones in the midst of Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests which bear the ark of the covenant stood. And they are there unto this day. So the ark of the covenant was in the middle, and the 12 stones were set up in the midst, meaning the middle of Jordan.
It's happening right now. It's happening to Bangkok.
Bloody hell. So me, yeah.
crypto. If change is happening in finance, then it's happening
Yeah, my screen
everywhere.
froze.
And it's happening with Ripple.
Yeah, it froze me out. Let's go over here, see what happens now.
Okay. So
Here we go.
12 stones surrounding the Ark of the Covenant. Okay. Joshua 18:24 and Chereph Ammonia and Ophi and Gaba, 12 cities with their villages. Joshua 19:15 and Kadoth and Nahala and Shimron and Idalah and Bethlehem, 12 cities with their villages. Joshua 21:7, the children of Merari, their families had out of the tribe of Reuben and out of the tribe of Gad and out of the tribe of Zebulun, 12 cities. So you got 12 stones, 12 mountains, 12 lands, maybe 12 cities, 12 lands, 12 houses in the heavens. You have 12 constellations, right? According to them, we do. And all right, let's go ahead and go here. So here is a depiction of the tabernacle. Okay. And why was the tabernacle of Moses and the 12 tribes arranged in concentric circles, one after the other? It's just a question I'm asking. Surrounding the temple or the representation of their God.
Concentric circles again, see? It all goes back to the concentric rings, concentric circles, right?
It's kind of like in Mecca, they have that black cube, and then they have the people running in circles around it. Okay. It's all tied to something, and I think it's bigger than what most people realize, which is why we're talking about it and doing this presentation. Matthew 10, and when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. Now the names of those 12 apostles, the first Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James, and the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas, and Matthew the publican, James the son of Alphaeus, and Lebbaeus, whose surname is Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. Is 12 and 7 not favorite numbers of the Father? Apparently it is. So keeping in mind the whole world concept and the whirling inside of a world, or the world inside of a world. Man, I'm getting tired. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to go today. How long have I been going? Oh, I've been going quite a while. Okay. We have 12 hours on the clock. We got 12 tribes, 12 disciples, all these things. And what I'm wondering with this clock here is there a secret in plain sight here? Here's another example of it. This is a bigger view of the building, because you have the clock right there, the astronomical clock that has a circle inside a circle. But then you have other symbolism. Right below it, you have this circle. Let's see if I can, let me just blow it up bigger so you can see it. You see, you got two big circles. And then the one on the bottom has a circle in the middle, which has like symbolism for a castle or a kingdom. And then all the way around, you have the constellations in the heavens inside of additional circles, which you have. How many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you have 12 of them. So you got 12 numbers on the clock up here. You got 12 constellations, 12 circles, and you have these circles exist inside a big circle. And if you notice, also on the ground where this lady's standing here, you have the circle inside of a border with 12 circles surrounding it inside of a border.
That also reminds me of like how would you call it? The magnetron, right? Looks similar to the patterns of a magnetron, the symbol here. And I've started to see that pattern also in like Star Wars and things like that, right? And that shit is tied in with the Death Star, right? The laser, the Death Star, the lenses, the laser, the magnetron, and this symbol right here.
Why? What did the people who built this building a very long time ago? I don't know how far back this goes, and I know it's been renewed and fixed up and some things probably replaced, but this building is likely seen several times, if you understand what I'm saying.
You have found your way to the heart of something huge.
Okay. And now here again, we see a symbol for a Taurus sitting on the back of 12 oxen, bulls, tauros, with 3 facing north, 3 facing south, 3 facing east, 3 facing west. That's 12. And the Taurus contains what? Water. Notice the image with the repeating circles overlapping like the flower and sacred geometry. You see how down here at the bottom, like you got this up here like representing the heavens, the clock, representing time, representing the cycles, but then down here you have like petals on a flower and all these circles going around like a clock. Is this not telling us something? Or is it outside of our ability to be able to determine what it means? 1 Kings 7:25, it stood upon 12 oxen, 3 looking towards the north, and 3 looking towards the west, and 3 looking towards the south, and 3 looking towards the east. And the sea was set above upon them, and all their hinder parts were inward. And I wrote down the Taurus, which represents the earth sitting on the flower. Is this not symbolism for the world set inside a Taurus filled with water, which is first thing mentioned in Genesis? This is where I suspect the name Tartaria comes from or is related to, which again, is somewhat of a theory, I guess you'd say. Okay. Revelation 21, talking about 12 gates, 12 tribes, 12 angels, 3 gates, windows, times to the north, and so on. verse 9, and there came unto me one of the seven angels which had seven vials full, and of course we're seeing the sevens again, full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride and the lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her.
See, there you go again. The Jerusalem, right? He's not speaking like it's on earth or it's a local place. It's something different, right? Have a listen.
And showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had stone most precious, even like jasper stone, clear as crystal,
Yeah, it's
and
crystal.
had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates,
Mm.
and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. And on the east 3 gates, and on the north 3 gates, and on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And on the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the name of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Her light was clear jasper stone color with which is greenish, like our northern lights. A great wall surrounding the city, like the wall around. Just reading a couple of notes I put down here. Wall.
Hold on. Oh, I've done that already. Good advice. I thought I did do that. Where am I going? See if that makes a difference.
All around the temples and the tabernacle. Not sure what I was saying there exactly, but it is interesting, the northern lights, and I know what they tell us about it. But if our world is truly like, let me go back up to here. If our world is truly like this, or like this, okay, then this center part here, right at the very, very center, there would be something that would be the midst, okay? Let me copy that. Copy. I give myself.
Same 3-month sound quality, just way cheaper.
Find great deals on refurbished tech on eBay.
What's the sound?
So the center of the circle would be the midst, you see? So it is the center. Is this where the Garden of Eden is? And does this also represent the land that will become available and, like, literally or symbolically descend from the heavens? I don't know for sure, but I am very curious and I'm very tired. I am very tired. Let me see. There's a few more things I've just got to show you today. Just got to show you some of this stuff here. So try to bear with me just a little bit longer. And I'm getting tired. Actually, I'm already there. All right, so we covered that. We covered that. Covered that. Let's read this. Revelation 21, and he talked with me, and he that talked with me had a golden reed, measured the city and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs, number 12 again. The length and the breadth of the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof, 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man. So again, they're building something in the image of, that is of an angel, measure according to the measure of a man, that is of an angel. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished and with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh crystallite, the eighth beryl, and the ninth topaz, the 10th chrysoprase, the 11th jacinth, and the 12th amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls, every several gate was of one pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. So we have this 12 gates, 12 pearls, 12 hours on the clock. This thing keeps repeating. And it says every gate was as a pearl, like a circle. Okay? Cannot see it once you start seeing it. Okay, can you see what I see? Why the image of the wheel inside the wheel, like Ezekiel's wheel? Why the image of a wheel inside the wheel? Is this symbolism for the tourists and the world and the gates surrounding it all? If you look here, it could be seen that way for sure. All right, let's see here. A couple more frames. This actually comes out of the Gospel of Thomas. It's important. So listen to this.
Yeah.
It says these are hidden sayings from the living Yeshua spoke, that the living Yeshua spoke. And Yehuda Tama, the twin, recorded. And he said, whoever discovers what these sayings mean will not taste death. Yeshua said, seek and do not stop seeking until you find. When you find, you will be troubled. When you are troubled, you will marvel and rule over.
Hold on, because I see something down there. He was about to look. Right, even there. If your leader tells you, look, the kingdom is in heaven, then the birds of heaven will precede you. If they say to you, it is in the sea, then the fish will precede you. But the kingdom is inside you, and it is outside you. Right? Micro to macro. That's what you gotta understand. Micro to macro. It's inside you and it's outside you. You're having that experience, right? And you don't even know it.
Rule over all. Yeshua said, if your leaders tell you, look, the kingdom is in heaven, then the birds of heaven will precede you, meaning they'll beat you there because they're already in the skies, right? If they say to you, it's in the sea, then the fish will beat you there. They will precede you. But the kingdom is inside you and it is outside you. When you know yourselves, then you will be known. And you will understand that you are the children of the living Father. But if you do not know yourselves, meaning look at yourselves, know yourself, understand the way the body is, that it is in the image of our God. But if you do not know yourselves, then you will dwell in poverty, and you are poverty. Yeshua said, know what is in front of your face, and what is hidden from you will be disclosed. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed. Do not lie, and do not do what you hate. All things are disclosed before heaven. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, nothing covered that will remain undisclosed.
All things are disclosed before heaven. Whew. You're inside that motherfucker.
I hope you see how that relates to what we're doing today. Got more still to, bunch more to do, and also there's more to add to this as well. But I think I've got to give my voice a break, guys. Give myself a break, because I am getting tired. But I will continue, and I will make it 31 days straight, and I will do the work of our Father. And I pray that my Father will give me the strength to be able to do this, and will hold my voice together so that I can be able to do this. Let me have a little bit of water. Because like he instructed me to do, to take the bull by the horns. And so I did. Guys, again, I greatly appreciate y'all guys continuing to push for me and to make this idea, the Superthon thing, work for me and also for our show, our team here. We all work very hard. Some of you have no idea. Some of you probably understand. And now we're working even harder than ever. I hope you'll support the Superthon.
There you go. That was some good shit. Excuse my language. That was good. That was good. I enjoyed myself. What's that? 2 hours. That was a long one. What did you folks think of that one? I thought that was alright. Salute. Welcome. What else did I have real quick? It's getting late though. It's getting late. Can I do that quick? How long is that one? That's no, I won't even hold you. I'll let you crack on. But yeah, you already know, man. Hope you enjoyed that shit. It all leads back to the eye, right? No matter where I look, they show me hollow earth, they show me the eye, they show me the lens, they show me the cave, they show me the nucleus, they show me everything. No matter where I look, it's in everything. I signed up to this, well, not signed up, I just subscribed to a YouTube channel, right, where you can watch movies, you know. There's just free movies. Sometimes I just go to the ones that I know there might be hidden gems in them, and I'm like, bingo, right there. Right there. I'm just revisiting old movies and it's just there in plain sight. But because I didn't understand, now I understand what they're showing me. It's wild. It's wild. But yeah, you already know, folks. You already know. Much more work to do. Much more work to do. We'll leave it right there. Right? Yeah. It's been a pleasure. We'll do this dance again. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure of it. All right. So you go and have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch up. Look after yourself. Love over war. Lay low.